We don't talk about blue, no, 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 no. We don't talk about blue, no. That song needs to leave my head ASAP. Hi everyone, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. Today I'm going to be going through every single book in my owned TBR, and that is every single book in this library room right now. Right here, right now. Another great song from High School Musical 3. Right here. I mean, actually, it's a good song. It's not a great song. It's a good song. But I've done this the last 2 years, so this will be my 3rd year doing this. And it really does help me visualize my book collecting problem. Do I ever do anything about it? Not really. Saying that, I have been really good at unhauling books that I've lost interest in or I've read and didn't enjoy. So I feel like maybe I've balanced it out this year. Right, so this time last year, I had 538 books on my owned TBR, and that was a lot. It definitely was a lot. And I've had quite a few book hauls since then, but I've also done some really big unhauls as well. I've done like 100 book unhauls in one video. I don't think I've balanced it out at all. I still think I've added to the own TBR, but I think it might not be as bad as I initially thought because I did all of that unhauling. Yeah, I'm gonna go through every book in this library, and it's not gonna be in any order really. I'm gonna start with the far bookshelf and then work my way around. And I have a different kind of setup system. I do things in like height order and then alphabetical order within the author surname kind of thing, but like it's a bit of a jumbled thing that makes sense to me. So I am going to do a bookshelf tour, an updated library tour very, very soon. I want it up this month. You're just going to have to deal with like the randomness. So firstly, I will be going through classics, and then middle grade arcs, and then young adult and adult arcs. And then I'll be going on to the middle grade shelf, so I'll be going through middle grade hardbacks, middle grade paperbacks, and then some series on this side that I haven't quite got to yet. So that's going to be a bit jumbled as well, doesn't matter. And I'll be going into the young adult and adult hardbacks, and then the young adult and adult paperbacks. I also have some books on the top there as well. Oh, I also have another bookshelf in the middle of the room. I essentially have like 8 shelves to go through. It's not too bad, really. It's not too bad. So let me know in the comments below if you see a book that I need to read and you would love for me to read it. Let me know in the comments. I would love to see that. Maybe you have a list of books that you would like me to read ASAP. I will definitely try and come back to this video so that I can see everyone's suggestions and go through it that way. I'm excited to see what you guys say. So yeah, before I get into it, don't forget to like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, if I have a book that has multiple books in it, I'm just going to count it as one book, okay? I've got a few classics that have different short stories in. It's just going to count as one book. Without further ado, let's start the countdown. It's the final... Well, it's not a countdown, because I'm not counting down. I'm counting up. Let's start the count up, because we don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. So starting off with the classics. The Complete Tales of Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. The Complete Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. The Complete Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. Classic Tales of Horror by various authors. Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. 5 Weeks in a Balloon, A Journey to the Centre of the Earth, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood by Howard Pyle. Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. Dracula by Bram Stoker. Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. Ray Bradbury, Something Wicked This Way Comes. The Magic Toy Shop by Angela Carter. And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. Crooked House by Agatha Christie. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. Moby Dick by Herbert Melville. Animal Farm by George Orwell. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. And King Solomon's Mines by H. Rider Haggard. So that was all of my classics. Let's get into my middle grade arcs. The Snowman by Michael Morpurgo. The False Rose by Jacob Bourgelius. How Not to Be a Vampire Slayer by Katie Burchill. Following Frankenstein by Catherine Bruton. Escape to the River Sea by Emma Carroll, inspired by Eva Ibbotson. The Ghost Garden by Emma Carroll. Noah's Go by Frank Cottrell Boyce. The Great Fox Illusion by Justin Edwards. Jane Austen Investigates The Abbey Mystery by Julia Golding. Horror Heights the Slime by Beck Hill. The House of Serendipity, Sequins and Secrets by Lucy Iverson. The Colour of Hope by Ross Mackenzie. The Night of My Father Christmas by Ben Miller. The Bird Singers by Eve Wysocki Morris. The Last Firefox by Leigh Newbury. Bigfoot Mountain by Roderick O'Grady. Skyborn by by Sinead O'Hart, and Yesterday Crumb and the Storm in a Teacup by Andy Saga. I'm not going to tell you which ones of these have already been out for years. But yes, that was my middle grade arcs. Next, I'm going to go into my young adult and adult arcs, because I like to keep them separate, you know? Because we don't talk about Bruno, no. Havenfall by Sarah Holland, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, Kingdom Tide by Ry Curtis, Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson, The Lost Ones by Anita Frank, The Embroidered Book by Kate Hartfield, The Whalebone Theatre by Joanna Quinn, My Dog Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell, Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan, The Shadow in the Glass by J.J.A. Harwood, The Dog Lady by Akala, The Nesting and The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cook, The Vanished Bride by Bella Ellis, All That's Left in the World by Eric J. Brown, Twin Crowns by Catherine Webber and Catherine Doyle, Wiggenhurst by Michelle Paver, ignore the 2019. The Outlaws Scarlet and Brown by Jonathan Stroud, Gifton by Layla Susan, and finally Punch in the Air by Ibi Zaboy and Youssef Salam. Right, that is one whole bookshelf down. Now on to the middle grade hardback shelf. Epocha, The Tree of Eckroth, created by Kobe Bryant and written by Ivy Clare. Maria's Island by Victoria Hislop. The Danger Gang by Tom Fletcher. A Clock of Stars Beyond the Mountains by Francesca Gibbons. The Shadows of Rookhaven by Paul Dre Kenny. Ghost Cloud by Michael Mann. The Extremely Inconvenient Adventures of Bronte Metalstone. The Slightly Alarming Tale of the Whispering Wars. And The Stolen Prince of Cloudburst by Jacqueline Moriarty. Eddie Albert and the Amazing Animal Gang by Paul O'Grady. The Fairy Merry Murder Club by various authors. The Puffin Book of Big Dreams by various authors. The Book of Hopes by various authors. Once Upon an Eid, Stories of Hope and Joy by 15 Muslim Voices, so various authors. The Girl and the Ghost by Hannah Alkaff. The In-Between by Rebecca K.S. Ansari. Dark Waters by Catherine Arden. Kiss of the Night Witch, Emblem Island by Alex Astor. Maya in the Rising Dark by Rena Barron. Beauty and the Beast, Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. The Book of Soul and Dreams by David Farr. Ember and the Ice Dragons by Heather Fawcett. Take Back the Block by Crystal Day Giles. The Vanderbiggers of 141st Street by Karina Young Glesser. The Plentiful Darkness by Heather Kastner. Locked Out Lily by Nick Lake. The Nightmare Thief by Nicole Lesperance. The Time of Green Magic by Hilary McKay. Kiki Kalira Briggs a Kingdom by Sangu Mandana, Snow and Rose by Emily Winfield Martin, The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane and The Secret of Whitestone Gate by Julia Noble, The Starspun Web by Sinead O'Hart, Anya and the Dragon by Sophia Pasternak, City Spies and City Spies Golden Gate by James Ponty, The Midnight Hour by Benjamin Reed and Laura Trinder, Sisirios and the Desert of Souls by Kayla Rivera, The Barren Grounds by David A. Robertson, No One Everything by J.Z. Schmidt, The Toymaker's Apprentice by Sherry L. Smith, The Chance to Fly by Ali Stroker and Stacey Davidowitz, The Last Shadow Warrior by Sam Subbity, The Bookshop of Dust and Dreams by Mindy Thompson, Echo Mountain by Lauren Mock, Aladdin Far from Agrabah by Aisha Saeed, Hocus Pocus and the All New Sequel by A.W. Janther, October by Katya Balin, Cinders and Sparrows by Stefan Bachman, The Silver Arrow by Lev Grossman, The Girl Who Saved Christmas, Father Christmas and Me, and A Mouse Called Mika by Matt Haig, Second Dad Summer by Benjamin Class, The Good Bear by Sarah Lean, The Day I Fell Into a Fairy Tale by Ben Miller, Guardians of Magic by Chris Riddell, The Other Black Girl in Town by Brandy Colbert, I was supposed to read these in December, Nicholas C. North in The Battle of the Nightmare King, Issa Buddymund and the Warrior Eggs at the Earth's Core, Tuthiana, Queen of the Tooth Fairy Armies, The Sandman and the War of Dreams, and Jack Frost, The End Becomes the Beginning by William Joyce. Nutcracked by Susan Adrian. And finally, My Neighbor Totoro, original story and art by Hayao Miyazaki, and the novel is by Sugiko Kubo. You know what, that's far more than I thought it would be. Just looking at the shelf, I thought I read more than I did. I'm very concerned. I just forgot I've got mangas as well. Manga, graphic novels. I'm sorry, this video was not prepared. I forgot I have another shelf. Getting into graphic novels, mangas, that's what we're going to do now. The Boy, the Mole, Fox and the Horse by Charlie McKay, Lore Olympus Volume 1 by Rachel Smythe, The Tate Dragon Tapestry by Kate O'Neill, Avatar The Last Airbender The Promise by Brian Konietzko, Michael Dante DiMartino, Jean Lewin Yang, and Gurihiro. 5 or 4 volumes in Saga Compendium 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, but I'm just going to count this as one because I'm going to reread the entire saga in one sitting eventually. The Walking Dead Compendium 1 and The Walking Dead Compendium 2 by Robert Kirkman, Charlie Adlard, and Cliff Rathburn, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Pale Reflections, Buffy the Vampire Slayer The Remain in Sunlight, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 1 High School is Hell, all created by Joss Whedon and illustrated by various authors. Charmed Season 10 Volume 3 by Pat Shand, Eliza Felix, and Valentina Cuomo, V. Schwab Shades of Magic, Steel Prince, El Devil by Cece Bell, Goosebumps Slappy's Tales of Horror by R.L. Stein, The Sag Orskell by Liz Meddings, Check Please Book 1 Hockey by Gotzi Ukazu, The Magic Fish by Trung Le Guyen, Whippoorwill Lane by Oenis Rawborn, illustrated by Carl James Mountford, When Stars Are Scattered by Victoria Jamieson and Omar Mohammed, The Old K-Witch by Emma Steinkellner, Anti-Hero by Kate Quinn and Dimitria Lunetta, Hookie by Miriam Benas Frosthearters, Stargazing by Jen Wang, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix Volume 1 and Volume 2 by Shiro Amano, Animal Crossing Deserted Island Diary by Kakanosu and Rumbear, and finally My Brother's Husband by Gengora Tagami. Okay, now we're going to get into the middle grade paperbacks, and I apologise for that mix-up. Grimwell by Avery Moray, Zero G by Dan Wells, The Jummy God's Revenge by Tracy Baptiste, The Search for Wonder by Tony Didolizzi, Harbour Maid by Jacqueline Woodson, Not Your Psychic by C.B. Lee, The Foundling by Lloyd Alexander, The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate, Iron-Hearted Violet by Kelly Barnhill, 910 A September 11 Story by Nora Rayleigh Baskin, The Caravan at the Edge of Doom by Jim Beckett, The Great Brain Robbery and Delivery to the Lost City by P.G. Bell, Artie and the Blue Gods, Asha and the Spirit Bird, and Tamarind and the Star of Ishtar by Jasper Balan, Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World, and The Mighty Heart of Sidney St. James by Ashley Heron Blake, The Legend of Skeleton Man by Joseph Buchak, No Bally Shows in Syria by Catherine Bruton, Moonlocket, Sky Circus, and Shadow Say by Peter Bunzel, Featherlight by Peter Bunzel, A Pocket Full of Stars and Moonchild City of the Sun by Aisha Bushby, Hurricane Child by Kason Calendar, Frost Hollow Hall, The Girl Who Walked on Air, In Darkland Wood, Letters from the Lighthouse, Sky Chasers, The Somerset Tsunami, Strange Star, and When We Were Warriors, all by Emma Carroll, The Stormrunner and The Firekeeper by J.C. Cervantes, The Dragon and Her Boy by Penny Crimes, Gregor the Overlander, Gregor and the Prophecy of Bane, Gregor and the Curse of the Warmbloods, Gregor and the Marks of Secret, and Gregor and the Court of Claw, all by Suzanne Collins, The Dark Deep by Ali Condi and Brendan Reeks, The Pearl in the Ice by Catherine Constable, Greta and the Ghost Hunters by Sam Copeland, The Marvelous Land of Snurgs by Veronica Costantelli, The Peculiar Incident on Shady Street by Lindsay Curry, The Case of the Smuggler's Curse by Mark Dawson, Mort the Meek and the Raven's Revenge by Rachel Delahaye, The Lost Tide Warriors and The Stormkeeper's Battle by Catherine Doyle, Wilderness by Roddy Doyle, The Trouble with Perfect and The Battle for Perfect by Helena Duggan, Space Oddity by Christopher Edge, The Dream Snatcher, The Night Spinner, The Shadow Keeper, The Crackle Dawn Dragon, and Winter Magic by Abby Elphinston, Sky Pirates, Echo Quickthorn and the Great Beyond by Alex English, The Umbrella Mouse to the Rescue by Anna Farger, Voyager the Sparrowhawk by Natasha Farrand, The Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch by Tom Fletcher, Twister by Juliette Forrest, Dragonskin and Lenny's Book of Everything by Karen Foxley, Inkheart, Ink Spell, Ink Death, Dragon Rider, The Griffin's Feather, and The Aurelia Curse by Cornelia Funk, Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein, Pocket and Stubbs, The Haunting of Pelican City, and Ghost Catcher by Sophie Green, The Secrets of Winter House and The Winter House Mysteries by Ben Gutterson, Ramesa A Fairy Tale by Radia Hafiza, Proud of Me by Sarah Hagerholt, The Griffin Gate, The Puff and Portal, and Holly Hitch in the Iron Forest by Vashti Hardy, The Girl of Ink and Stars and The Island at the End of Everything by Karen Millwood Hargrave, The Merry Begot by Julie Hearn, The Bewitching of Evelyn Jones by Phil Hicks, The Whispers by Greg Howard, The House of 100 Clocks by A.M. Howell, Malice in Underland by Jenny Jennings, Freedom by Catherine Johnson, Charmed Life and Castle in the Air by Diana Wynne Jones, Lilani of the Distant Sea by Erin and Trada Kelly, Song for a Whale by Lynn Kelly, Tin by Baudrey Kenny, Amina's Voice by Hina Khan, Begone the Raggedy Witches, The Little Grey Girl, and The Promise Witch by Celine Kernan, Crater Lake and Crater Lake Evolution by Jennifer Killick, The Dead World of Lanthorn Ghouls by Gerald Killingworth, Horseboy by Tanya Landman, The Peculiars, The Legend of Pog and One Ear, The Gift of Dark Hollow, The Beast of Grimheart, and Uki and the Outcasts by Kieran Larwood, Nooks and Crannies by Jessica Lawson, Some Kind of Happiness by Claire Legrand, Twitch by MG Leonard, The Wild Folk and The Wild Folk Rising by Sylvia V. Lindstedt, The House on Hodder Hill by Mickey Lish and Kelly Nye, The Titanic Detective Agency by Lindsay Littleson, Tragedy at Sea, The Sinking of the Titanic by David Long, The Nowhere Emporium, The Elsewhere Emporium, Shadow Smith, and Evernight by Ross Mackenzie, A Glass House of Stars by Shirley Marr, The International Yeti Collective, Shadow Spring by Paul Mason and Katie Riddell, Last Gate of the Emperor by Kwame Mbalia and Prince Joel McConnon, Return to Raw and The Battle for Raw by Jenny McLachlan, The Beast and the Bethany and The Beast and the Bethany Revenge of the Beast by Jack Meggett Phillips, Ghost of Green Glass House and Blue Crown by Kate Milford, The Boy Who Made the World Disappear by Ben Miller, The Weather Weaver by Tamsin Mori, Orphans of the Tide Shipwreck Island by Stu and Murray, Wish by Barbara O'Connor, Curiosity House Shrunken Head by Lauren Oliver and H.C. Chester, Oggy and Me by R.J. Palacio, The Valley of Lost Secrets and When the War Came Home by Leslie Parr, A Vanishing of Griffins and A Thunder of Monsters by S.A. Patrick, The Accidental Wizard by Kimberly Pauly, Pax by Sarah Pennypacker, The Peculiar Tale of the Tentacle Boy by Richard Pickard, Beyond Platform 13 by Charbel Pounder and Eva Botson, The Unexpected Tale of Bastian Boniver by Claire Povey, The Carpet People and The Wee Free Men by Terry Pratchett, The Last of the Spirits by Chris Priestley, The Wrong Train by Jeremy DeQuitt, The Land of Yesterday by K.A. Reynolds, Black Brother and Towers Falling by Jewel Parker Rhodes, Serenormal Ghost Town by Phoebe Rivers, Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, When Money Was There by Joan J. Robinson, The Domigo Krakow by R.M. Romero, The Girl Savage, The Good Thieves, and Rooftoppers by Catherine Rundle, Twilight Hauntings by Angie Sage, Shootin' Cabal by N.H. Sensai, The Memory Thieves by Darren Simpson, Bloom by Nicholas Skinner, The Invasion of Crooked Orc and Nisha's War by Dan Smith, Vampirates Demons of the Ocean by Justin Somper, The House at the Edge of Magic and The Tower at the End of Time by Amy Sparks, The Ice Whisperers by Helenka Stakira, Are Motherland by Louis Stowell, The Secret of Nightingale Wood and Sisters of the Lost Marsh by Lucy Strange, Lockwood and Co., The Whispering Skull, The Hollow Boy, The Empty Grave and The Creeping Shadow by Jonathan Stroud, The Christmas Carols by Mel Taylor Besant, Dragon's Green by Scarlett Thomas, The Boy Who Fooled the World, The Graveyard Riddle and The House of Clouds by Lisa Thompson, The Bad Luck Lighthouse and The Cutthroat Cafe by Nikki Thornton, The Ghost of Hellfair and Molly Thompson and the Crypt of the Blue Moon by Nick Tomlinson, The Last Wild, The Dark Wild, The Wild Beyond, The Lost Magician and The Frozen Sea by Piers Tode, Breadcrumbs by Anna Ursu, The Light Hunters by Dan Walker, The Murderous Ape by Jacob Wegelius, The Company of Ape by Harriet Whitehorn, Oddly Coulter and The Narrowway Hunt, and Oddly Coulter and the Master of Monsters by Rhiannon Williams, The Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place, The Mysterious Howling by Mary Rose Wood, My Life is an Ice Cream Sandwich by Ibby Zaboy, and finally The Giant's Almanac by Andrew Zurcher. That was all of my middle grade paperbacks that are in like any semblance of order. So the rest of them I have a shelf here with some of my longer series, some of my favourite series, and some of them that I haven't got to just yet. So I will go through these ones now, and I will call this like the middle grade menagerie section. The Lost Box Scrolls, The Last of the Sky Pirates, Vox, Freyglader, The Immortals, The Nameless One, Doombringer and The Descenders, part of the Edge Chronicles series by Paul Stewart and Chris Riddell. Books 6 through 12 of the Lois Bonnevelt series by John Blaise and Brad Strickland. So we have The Doom of the Haunted Opera, The Spectre from the Magician's Museum, The Beast Under the Wizard's Bridge, The Tower at the End of the World, The Whistle, The Grave and the Ghost, The House Where Nobody Lived, and The Sign of the Sinister Sorcerer. Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse, Percy Jackson and the Battle of the Labyrinth, Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian, the Heroes of Olympus series, we have The Lost Hero, The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, The House of Hades, The Blood of Olympus, and The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan. How to Train Your Dragon, books 2 through 12. I'm a little bit scared right now. How to Be a Pirate, How to Speak Dragonese, How to Cheat a Dragon's Curse, How to Twist a Dragon's Tail, A Hero's Guide to Deadly Dragons, How to Ride a Dragon's Storm, How to Break a Dragon's Heart, How to Steal a Dragon's Sword, How to Seize a Dragon's Jewel, How to Betray a Dragon's Hero, and How to Fight a Dragon's Fury, all by Cressida Cowell. And finally, the Murder Most Unladylike series by Robin Stephens. We have Cream Buns and Crime, A Spoonful of Murder, Death in the Spotlight, Top Marks for Murder, Death Set Seal, and Once Upon a Crime. Okay, so from my little middle section bookshelf, I only have 3 bookshelves to go. Still a middle grade, but after this, we're going straight into the young adult and adults. Yay! So I have all 25 books in the Goosebumps Series 2000 series by R.L. Stine to read. We have Cry of the Cat, Bride of the Living Dummy, Creature Teacher, Invasion of the Body Squeezers Part 1 and Part 2, I Am Your Evil Twin, Revenge or Rust, Fright Camp, Are You Terrified Yet, Headless Halloween, Attack of the Graveyard Ghouls, Brain Juice, Return to Horrorland, Jekyll and Heidi, Scream School, The Mummy Walks, The Werewolf in the Living Room, Horrors of the Black Ring, Return to Ghost Camp, Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid, The Haunted Car, Full Moon Fever, Snappy's Nightmare, Earth Geeks Must Go, and Ghost in the Mirror. I did read some of these as a kid, but I can't remember which ones, so I'm just counting all of them as brand new reads. So in the bookshelf in the middle of the room with some books that I haven't yet read. So this is a bit of a mishmash order. I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, The Unbound, The Neowitch, Vicious, Vengeful, This Savage Song, and Our Dark Duet by V.E. Schwab. I have the entire Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. So we have The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. I have the Disney Twisted Tales. I have A Whole New World, Once Upon a Dream, As Old as Time, Concealed Don't Feel, Part of Your World, So This Is Love, Straight On Till Morning, and Unbirthday by various authors. That's all the books in the middle. Now on to the books that are on top of my adult shelves. So I have a variety of different epic fantasy, epic sci-fi, different bits and bobs. Fire and Blood and The Ice Dragon by George R.R. Martin, Dune by Frank Herbert, The Silmarillion, The Fall of Gondolin, The Children of Húrin, and Beren and Luthien by J.R.R. Tolkien, Tohanu by Ursula K. Le Guin, the entire Dark Tower series by Stephen King. So we have The Wind Through the Keyhole, The Gunslinger, The Joan of the Three, The Wastelands, Wizards and Glass, Wolves of the Kala, Song of Susanna, and The Dark Tower by Stephen King. More Stephen King books here. I have 11/22/63, The Dead Zone, The Green Mile, Mr. Mercedes, Needful Things, On Writing, The Outsider, Salem's Lot, The Shining, and Doctor Sleep. Some of these I should have read because I put them on official monthly TBRs and just didn't read. Stranger Things, Suspicious Minds by Gwenda Bond, Law by Alexandra Bracken, Recursion by Blake Crouch, The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong, The Once and Future Witches by Alex A. Harrow, Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins, Fiona and Jane by Jean Chen Ho, Orphans of the Storm by Celia Imrie, The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson, The Deep by Alma Katsu, Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly, Dog Dawn by Jay Kristoff, Six Crimson Cream Trains by Elizabeth Lim, Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco, Seven Devils by Elizabeth May and Laura Lamb, Circe by Madeline Miller, The Prison Healer by Lynette Nonny, A Deadly Education and The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik, The Thursday Murder Club and The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman, She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan, The Maid by Nita Prose, These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan, Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson, Fire with Fire by Destiny Soraya, Jade Fire Gold by June C. L. Tan, Malice by Heather Walter, The Last House on Ealer Street by Catriona Ward, Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson, Once Upon a Burning Throne by Ashok K. Banker, Wicked As You Wish by Rin Chapeko, The Dragon Republic and The Burning God by R.F. Kwong, Girl in the Walls by A.J. Noose, How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackey, Threadneedle by Carrie Thomas, Friday Black by Nana Kwame Ajay-Brenya, The Haunted Season by various authors, Deep Light by Frances Harding, The Deathless Girls and The Mercies by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Clune, The Year of the Reaper by Micaiah Lucia, The Whistling by Rebecca Netley, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, The Lamplighters by Emma Stonix, This Golden Flame by Emily Victoria, Iron Widow by Sharon J. Zhao, A Song of Wraths and Ruin and A Psalm of Storms and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown, Witch by Finbar Hawkins, Descendant of the Crane by Joan He, Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett, The Rise of Kyoshi and The Shadow of Kyoshi by F.C. Yee, A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee, Middle Game by Shona Maguire, A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey, The Bright and the Pale by Jessica Rubinowski, Stardaughter by Shveta Thakrar, Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas, Defy the Night by Bridget Kimmerer, Nothing But Black and Teeth by Cassandra Cole, If We Were Villains by ML Rio, Witches Stephen Gold by Shannon Smart, and Fable by Adrienne Young. So that was all of my young adult and adult hardbacks. Finally, we are on the last shelf and it is the young adult and adult paperbacks. Oh god, I'm literally starving. I've been doing this for hours. I'm starving. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey, Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Bastarrica, Tribesman by Adam Caesar, The Bone Witch, The Shadow Glass, and The Heart Forger by Rin Chapeko, House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig, On a Save Glass, The Life and Loss of RMS Titanic by Tad Fitch, J. Kent Layton, and Bill Wormstead, The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss, Breach of Peace by Daniel B. Green, We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendricks, Cryo Night by Tim Johnson, The Raven and the Reindeer by T. Kingfisher, Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller, A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, A Carter Witch by Neddy Okorafor, Anchor's a Gift by Mark Oshiro, Library of Souls and A Map of Days by Ransom Riggs, Lava Red Feather Blue by Molly Ringle, Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert, All My Friends Are Rich by Michael Soreas, Restless Slumber and Deadly Dreams by KJ Sutton, Kill Creek by Scott Thomas, The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by Sia M. Wagner, Flowers in the Attic by Virginia Andrews, The Girl in the Tower and The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden, Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising, Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom and King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo, Jaws by Peter Benchley, Legally Blonde by Amanda Brown, The Truth About Keeping Secrets by Savannah Brown, Felix Ever by Kason Calendar, Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero, Shadow Black, Charmcaster, Soulbinder, Queenslayer and Crownbreaker by Sebastian de Castell, Piranesi by Susanna Clark, Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, Truth Witch, Wind Witch and Blood Witch by Susan Dennard, Guardians of the Galaxy by MK England, The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna, Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock by Imogen Holmes Gower, Beasts of Prey by Iana Gray, The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris, The Wolf Den by Lottie Harper, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, Take a Hint Danny Brown and Actual Age Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert, Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman, Go Girl Bad Blood and As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, Gilded Cage, Tonna City and Bright Ruin by Vic James, The Fifth Season and The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin, You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson, Nevernight and God's Grave by Jay Christoph, The Dead House by Dawn Gertikich, The Richard Lehman Collection Volume 18 by Richard Lehman, Jade City and Jade War by Fonda Lee, Bird Box by Josh Malaman, The Cousins by Karen M. McManus, Echo North by Joanna Ruth Meyer, Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, I Was Born for This, Loveless, Nick and Charlie, Solitaire and This Winter by Alice Oseman, Mordio by Alex Phoebe, Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, The Wise Man's Fear and The Soul Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss, The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Sheffer and Annie Barrows, The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper, The Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling, The Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily Lily Blue and The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater, The X-Hex by Erin Sterling, Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas, The Witches of Eastwick by John Updike, The Revelry by Catherine Webber, The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger, and finally The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams. So whatever the total is on this, I feel ashamed. Genuinely didn't think it would last this long. It's been 2 hours of me doing this. Starving, knackered, all of the above. So I need to go and have something to eat because, oh my lord, why did I do that? But yes, please do let me know in the comments if I should prioritize any of these. If you think I have a problem with book collecting, because I do. I really do. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me and just being the best people ever. So thank you so much. I love you guys so much. And if you want to join my Patreon, it is down in the description box. You can join for as little as £1 per month. But don't forget to like this video if you enjoy it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye.